Imagine a battlefield where the only thing moving is the sun. The lines are drawn and the weapons are sharp, but a thick, suffocating dread has brought everything to a halt. The source of this gridlock is one man. Every morning, a giant steps into the valley and issues a single ultimatum: send out a champion to face him in a fight to the death. This timeline shows the cost of silence. On day 1, it's a challenge. By day 40, the constant, unanswered taunts have done more damage than any blade, rendering a massive army completely unable to function. The terms are absolute. If their champion falls, the entire nation enters a life of service to the giant's people. For over a month, this standoff has created a vacuum of action. Without a single arrow being fired, the army has been defeated by the mere expectation of loss. Far from this valley, a shepherd boy is living a much quieter life. His father gives him a simple task: take some bread and grain to the front lines to see how his older brothers are doing. The boy arrives at the camp just as the ranks are forming up. He walks past the supply wagons and sees thousands of armored men shivering in their boots. He watches the giant step forward and shout the same defiance he's been shouting for weeks. But while the soldiers run for cover, the boy stands his ground, asking why no one has stepped up to stop this man. The military establishment reacts with immediate hostility. His eldest brother snaps at him, dismissing his questions as the arrogance of a curious child who should have stayed with the sheep. This friction reveals a massive disconnect. The soldiers see a professional warrior who is too big to kill, while the boy sees a man who is defying the living God. When the boy is finally brought before the king, he doesn't talk about military strategy. He tells stories of his time in the wilderness, where he had to kill both a lion and a bear with his bare hands to protect his flock. The king tries to help by dressing the boy in his own heavy bronze armor. The boy tries to move, but the weight of the metal is so restrictive he can barely take a step. He realizes that if he tries to fight like a soldier, he will die like one. He sheds the armor, deciding to rely on the same divine protection that helped him survive in the wild. With nothing but his staff and a simple leather sling, the lone shepherd walks out from the trenches and into the open sun. The giant is insulted. He looks at the boy's lack of a sword and asks if he's a dog that needs to be chased off with sticks. The boy responds with a final declaration. He tells the giant that while he comes with a sword and a spear, the boy comes in the name of the Lord. The 40-day stalemate ends in seconds. The boy reaches into his bag, swings his sling, and sinks a single stone into the giant's forehead. The giant falls. By refusing to follow the established rules of engagement, the boy achieved a victory the entire army thought was impossible. The silence in the valley is replaced by the roar of the army. A conflict that had frozen thousands of men for 40 days was settled before the giant could even draw his sword. The army had to confront a new reality. They had calculated the giant's height and armor as an unsolvable math problem, but they watched a shepherd boy prove that their calculations were based on the entirely wrong set of rules. This flowchart maps two views of the same giant. Soldiers followed the top path. His massive size led to fear and total paralysis. The boy followed the bottom path. Size was irrelevant compared to divine purpose. Viewing challenges through our limitations creates a reason to stop. But through the lens of purpose, that giant becomes an opportunity to act. One act of faith changed the entire battlefield. When
When the world sees a giant, you have the choice to not get frozen in place, but allow faith to carry you through and pass the situation on to the next chapter. Through faith in God, you can slay your giant. Like and subscribe and leave a comment. It will make a difference for us. Thank you.